My name is Kenneth Lee. I'm the Chief of Spinal Cord Injury Unit at the Milwaukee VA Medical Center. I came from South Korea when I was age 10. My father, his big thing was that every person should be serving their own country in some ways. You know, I joined the Illinois National Guard to start with in the infantry unit, then transferred over to the Wisconsin Army National Guard. I just got my job as a Chief of Spinal Cord Injury about a week before getting a call that I'm getting deployed. I volunteered to join. I knew there's always a chance to go to war. I never thought I would go to war, but I did. My son was 5 years old, my daughter was 8 years old. I don't think they quite understood. Life in Iraq was a little different. So as a medical unit, we adapted to running our own missions without any MPs or infantry support. The intel that we had prior to leaving United States to go to Iraq was that the roadside bombs and attacks were starting to get heated up. This particular day, we put a 3-vehicle convoy together and started heading out to the green zone. And I normally never stop. But this particular day, they found an ID, so they stopped us and we dismounted and I heard a car screech. Turned around and this big car was just heading straight towards me and then detonated.
There were quite a few individuals that were hurt, and Colonel Lee was one of them.
Only thing I know is how my soldiers told me that they found me under a car, so they had to drag me out and noticed that I had an open head injury and shrapnels all over my legs and arms. Certain parts of my bodies weren't moving, my legs weren't moving right. So, you know, am I paralyzed or is this because of my head? The combat wounded guys coming home, it's a lonely business. Because, you know, you don't come home with the rest of the unit. You're coming home alone in so many ways.
He felt he needed to go back to his troops because there was no closure for him. He got hurt and he felt that he left them behind. So he kept saying, I need to go back, I need to go back. But he needed to go through a lot of rehab himself.
They did a neuropsych testing on me. They said your TBI it affected me more than I thought. And they said it wasn't safe for me to go back and lead the unit. Rehabilitation for me was really hard. I'm a rehab doctor myself. So going through the rehab, what my patients are going through, man, do I feel for them now.
In my opinion, it was kind of a little reserved. He was not as outgoing.
It was miserable 2 years for me, my kids, and my wife. She suffered the most.
A lot of times I saw that he was depressed. He sat down maybe at a window or something and looked outside for maybe many hours sometimes.
You know, as a physician, I did not want to accept that I had PTSD. I felt embarrassed to have it, and so I denied it quite a bit. But my daughter and I was playing a board game and I wasn't really into it, but she just stopped playing the board game and just said, Daddy, you don't smile anymore. You know, and then I just started crying. That I remember, and she just ran away.
I felt like he was going through the motions of things but wasn't actually present.
It just made me realize I gotta do something, otherwise I'm going to lose all my family. I decided to look at what I do for a living, a rehab physician, and sports. So I started looking into that as an avenue for my recovery. So I started running, I started biking. One of the interns came up with, why don't we do an adaptive cycling clinic?
The ability to be active again, to be a part of a team, to compete, there's nothing better, man.
It's no longer just going to work for a job. It's actually going to work and making a difference with this particular veteran or that particular veteran.
I told him before he was a AA, now he's a AAA personality, you know, so he's very active. He gets up 3, 5 in the morning and just going to work, going to any a lot of veteran service things, especially the disabled and paralyzed individuals. He's very passionate for.
Everything that he does at work or just even at home in his spare time is about the veterans.
They support what I do now, and doing everything with me is a huge testament to what a family bond can be. So in my eyes, what is my biggest accomplishment? I think it has to be my veterans. Introducing them to adaptive sports. Next thing I know, within a year, they're national championships, they're going to school, they actually have jobs, they're contributing positively to society. That has to be, from my standpoint, the biggest success.